Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studios, airing out the beef and settling the score. It's time for Where's the Beef Wednesday on Franklin County's favorite morning show. The starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. And now for your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Good morning and welcome into the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Brett Crabtree, already here.
You can't introduce Brett before I introduce myself. I am Joe Abraham. He is Chewy. It is a Where's the Beef Wednesday. And boy, oh boy, do I have some beef today.
You were bordering on giddy.
I really want to talk about this whole thing. And we, at different times, here's the thing I would recommend. Because people love when I lose it, but people really get interested in the show when I talk about topics that they care about. Tell me what you want me to get into, and we'll get into it. It doesn't have to be a Where's the Beef Wednesday or a Therapy Thursday. If you've got an opinion on something that you want us to dive into, to dig into, to get our hands dirty with, and you want to hear my dumb, crazy, asinine reasoning behind it, go for it. Shoot it to us, and we'll see. We'll see what we come up with. Maybe I'll even let Chewy do it. We'll let Chewy. Could you imagine Chewy giving a Tough Talks with Chewy segment? Well, I think it's okay. Either way, I mean, what do we feel like?
All right. Landon is here saying morning.
Good morning, Landon.
Says, Crash Out Joe is entertaining.
Out of all the Joes, I think that's everybody's favorite.
Crash Out Joe?
There's a couple of them. There's a couple of them roaming around here.
I like Nerd Joe. Like when you get into like Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles, you look cool. I think that's cool.
Don't tell people.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's a big secret.
That's a big secret.
You totally didn't grow up in the 90s.
Chewy's, yeah, that's true. Chewy has seen, yeah, but they don't all need to know that, like, that one time when you and I were using ChatGPT to create Jacked Joe Ranger, where it's like me with my ripped off sleeves in all black.
Honestly, if I still had that, that would be your contact photo on my phone.
I came across it the other day. It's somewhere.
It still just
it's
as
somewhere.
badass?
Oh yeah. I came across it and I'm like, oh man, that's really cool. We should make that show.
The Jacked Rangers.
The Jacked Rangers. Anyway, so
maybe not. We'll workshop that name.
So yeah, Chewy's gotten firsthand view of Crash Out Joe. He sees even a further side of Crash Out Joe.
I just run.
Yeah. It can get uncomfortable around here at times. And we're gonna try and use it to make it uncomfortable for some other people.
Sure. I am curious though, what do people want to hear from you as far as that goes? You know what I mean?
This is what they tune in for every day. This is what the algorithm shows.
Okay.
Me losing my mind, saying something stupid, you looking at the camera, like what did he just say? Then quipping back at me, then me totally losing all sense of reality, crashing out, and then afterwards you putting it into a short.
Yeah.
That's what we've seen they want. The people, we got to give the people what they want.
Okay.
All right, so it is a Where's the Beef Wednesday, but if you've got topics like that and you want to shoot them in, you can always put them in on the FMO Facebook feed, which if you don't know what that is, hello, my name is Joe. Welcome to the show. The FMO Facebook feed, you go over to our Facebook page and you can actually watch the show. Which, by the way, if you're in the FMO Facebook feed, I'm assuming that it's working right now. Chewy and I went on a massive overhaul yesterday. There's a computer sitting on the floor right now. We just started ripping stuff out and rebuilding because we're so there's technology is great when it works. My point is, let us know if it works. If you're actually listening and you can hear us, let us know. But if you jump into the FMO Facebook feed, you can always tell us, hey, why don't you get into this? Hey, why don't you get into that? I'd love to get some feedback from the community. And it doesn't need to be like some big investigation. But at one point in time, people were bringing me stuff like, oh, did you hear about this court case and these people are getting sued and this, that, and the other thing? It doesn't always have to be that. It can just be like, hey, what do we feel as a community about this certain thing? And I've got this one that's been boiling under the surface for quite a while, and we've danced around it. We've talked about culture. We've talked about some other things. And today we're going to get into it, Chewy.
Well, Brett Crabtree did say booster seat Joe, just being rude. And then Landon said Chewy looking at the camera like he's in a TV show is one of my favorite parts of the show. Absolutely.
I do got to make sure that my seat is all the way up, because, look, if I put my seat down, I can't even reach the microphone.
You look like one of your kids. Like
I do.
You look like Crosby on Swap and Shop. He's got his head all the way back trying to reach the mic.
And sometimes I come in and it's like this.
Yeah. Who wants to sit that low, though?
I don't know. I think that they just do it to mess with me.
Oh, speaking of which, is today
Now
April
it won't go
Fool's
all the
Day?
way back up.
Today's April Fool's. Hey, will you be my fool for April Fool's Day?
Phrasing.
Yeah.
No.
We're not celebrating, I guess.
We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan.
All right.
I can appreciate those people who are. I don't like being made to look like a fool, Chewy. So, makes me uncomfortable.
Well, what were you going to talk about as far as this community involvement thing? Because I know you made
I think that you're just dancing around the fact that I just said I don't like being made to look like a fool. And you've been spending the last few weeks making these YouTube videos.
I'm not doing anything.
Trader Chewy.
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
I'm just merely showing what happened on the show.
Oh.
And for parts that I feel like would be entertaining to people.
Okay.
Relford did jump in, though, saying Joe needs one of those plastic booster seats you get at restaurants.
Yeah. I probably do, especially if the chair's going to be low like that. All right. So today on the show, with it being a Where's the Beef Wednesday, normally we have Ricky Tips, the Humpback Swamp Donkey, in studio. I do expect him this morning. He usually lets me know if he's out of town or traveling or whatever the case is. I'm pretty sure he's going to be here, which is going to be good because I want to get his opinion on some of this. I'd like to involve him in the conversation. Also, it's the first Wednesday of the month because it's the first. So I would expect Chris Guest to be here in hour number 2, and the library ladies will be in hour number 2 as well.
Okay.
So in and around all of that, we're going to have this conversation, Chewy. You said, what is it? Well, it revolves around recruiting, actually. Recruiting of high school kids, mainly recruiting of Franklin County kids out of the county by other schools and districts. And it's one of these things that I feel like people hush-hush talk about, and they voice their frustration about it, but nobody actually ever does anything about it. And it's frustrating to me because I feel like in the past, as a district, we have allowed other schools to come into Franklin County and take our kids and take them to other districts to play for other schools, and nobody says anything. And make no mistake, this is happening. I have heard about it happening way too many times, and sometimes it's not necessarily active recruiting. I get that. There are some kids who just choose to go to other schools based on perceived opportunities or perceived quality of play by other schools, whatever the case is. But actual going out and cherry-picking players and promising them things and helping them with rides and all of these things that go on, that are going on, is actually illegal. It's not supposed to be done. And if we all know that it's happening, and we're all talking about it privately, but nobody actually does it, does anything about it, reports it. Like, what are we doing? So I want to start off by hitting on the why nobody says anything, and we're going to jump right into it because we've got so many other things going on today. But if this is real and it's happening here in Franklin County, and you know about it, a lot of people know about it, a lot of people have, whether they be text messages or have received phone calls or whatever the case is, my question to Franklin County is, why is everybody so quiet about it? If everybody knows, if you've been directly contacted, or you're a kid, or one of your kids or one of your kids' friends has been recruited, and the kids talk, and these whispers and these things are going on, and these coaches are hearing things, and the community is talking about things, it's not even happening in the dark, Chewy. It's happening literally right in front of us, and just nobody is saying anything. It's openly happening. And what this, in my mind, does is it creates a much bigger problem in the long run. We talk about culture. Well, it starts with one kid leaving under this type of scenario, and it plants the seeds with these other kids. Now, maybe there's a better opportunity out there for me somewhere else. And in the world of transfers, now kids can friggin' transfer in high school for no reason and transfer in middle school for no reason. You have to be very protective. And as far as the why goes as well, you have to be very protective. If there is any sign of impropriety or all of these things, why are we so afraid to talk about it? Is it because you don't want your kids targeted? Is it because you don't want drama with the other schools in the area? Like, if you're one of these parents out there where that, well, I don't want to hurt their opportunity. I don't want to be that parent. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be a whistleblower. I don't want to rock the boat. Are you hurting something greater than yourself by not speaking up? Well, coaches know each other. They don't want to harm a relationship with another coach, or it's just part of the game. It's like baseball players, they stand on second base and they steal the signals and the signs from it's just part of the game. Families know each other. Oh, we're in a small town. To me, all of that is garbage. And I'll be honest, if somebody comes into our county from another school district and attempts to take one of our kids out of here and recruit one of our kids out of here, and I catch wind of it and have proof of it, I don't care. If you don't want to file something, I'll file it. If you don't want to talk about it, I'll talk about it. Because all we got to do is win the court of public opinion. I'm so sick of this crap. Now, again, what I said, it starts by planting a seed. One kid, one school gets away with it. Now other kids are doing it. It creates this situation, and there are different reasons as to why. Why would a kid leave? Well, maybe they've got a better opportunity somewhere else, perceived better opportunity to succeed because the program here isn't as good. Okay. If you're the parent of that kid, if you're in that situation, you have an opportunity to elevate the program. I talk about the football team in the past. The past few years, would the football team have been as bad as they were if you had certain kids that stayed? Probably not. Did them leaving force change? Yes. Are we better in the long run for it? Yes. But now we need to put an end to it. In changing the change, and honestly, I thank some of those kids and some of those parents for them leaving. because you affected change in a way. But what I need is for everybody, and not just what I need, what the district needs, what Franklin County needs, what the Rebels need, is for everybody to get on board and say, okay, we agree, no longer. That standard is no longer acceptable, which means that we are all joining arms, we're linking together, we're doing the thing that the, what is it, in the 300, Chewy, where they lock in and they get their shields up and they go, whoo! We're all doing that. Don't know what the term for that is.
Not sure either.
But the point is that they're protecting each other. They're protecting the whole of the community. We need to do that. We need to come together and do that. And anybody outside of that, anybody that would work to threaten or harm that, is not just harming our athletic teams. They're not just harming the players on the field and the opportunities that they might have at success and as a community. What they're doing is, if you consider this point, if you take away 3 kids from our middle school team every year, 3 of our best athletes, say 3 of our best athletes get recruited away every year from North and South combined, and they go on to play at different schools. Just 3. Over the course of a 4-year period, the high school career, that's 12 kids. There's only 11 kids on the field at any given time. So you're telling me that we're okay, even if it's just 3, we're okay with the best 12 players over a course of a 4-year span being recruited off of our football team. Are you insane? It only takes 1 or 2. If you're looking at baseball, stop me if I'm lying, that out of the middle school baseball teams, I think it was this past year, out of the 9 starters, I think 6 of them went to play somewhere other than Franklin County High School. 6 in 1 year. And that, if you don't think that affects culture, you're wrong. You're just simply wrong. Because not only does it affect the winning culture and the competitive nature of these teams, but ultimately what it does, and this circles back around to the whole football thing, when the football team struggles, people stop showing up for the games. When people stop showing up for the games, guess who suffers? Everybody. Everybody. Who pays for their band uniforms using concessions? The band. And if there's nobody there eating any food, guess who doesn't get new uniforms? The band. And how do you support some of these other programs and the facilities and the things that you want to do? Well, you generate income above and beyond, revenue above and beyond what is actually needed to run the program, and then it trickles down into these other things, these other areas. You talk about lights, finding money for lights. We got to find money for lights. You know why we got to find money for lights? Because over the past, 5, 10 years, we're allowing kids to get pulled away to other schools for, quote, better opportunities. And I know that there's more that goes into it. I know that there's a lot of coaching transitions and other things like that. And you want to give your kid the best opportunity. And I'm not criticizing anybody in the past for doing that, for getting us to the point where we're at. The mess that we're at, there's so many things that go into it. And we've worked past a lot of that. What I'm saying is now, no excuse, we stop it. And it's hard to stop it. Because once these other coaches in the region, and you know who I'm talking about, there's a team to the north, there's a team to the south. There's teams all over the place that are pulling kids out, actively working to get kids to go to their school, offering like transportation solutions for kids to go to the school. And if we continue to allow it, the situation's not going to improve. When we talk about the standard, when we talk about raising the standard and doing all of these things and moving forward, I've mentioned one coach, one guy, Chuck Reed, is not going to, on his own, be able to fix this. It takes a community. Okay? And so if it takes a community and it takes focusing on everything, if they're blowing the whistle on reps in the gym, in the weight room, and they're so focused on the details within that building, don't you think that we should offer them the same kind of respect and accountability outside the weight room as the community? We need to be putting in the same level of support and effort that they're putting in on the field, off the field, if we want them to succeed, if we expect for them to succeed. And that goes back to protecting the culture, protecting these kids as rebels. If nobody reports it, then it's not a problem. It's not a problem on paper. And if it's not a problem on paper, it's just going to keep happening. To put an end to the cycle, it only takes a couple, maybe one. It only takes a couple. Report it a couple of times and then see if they still have the balls to step in here and do that. Because I'm sick of it. As a community, I'll be honest, I love our community, but to a certain extent, we're too nice. Oh, they're just going to do what they're going to do. And then we wonder when their basketball team is playing for a high school state title with half of the kids on their roster from our school district. Must be nice. We want to complain about it. We want to moan about it. We want to talk about it. And nobody wants to do anything about it. At some point, it stops being about what they're doing and starts being about what we're not doing. We're not stopping it. It's our fault. We don't have a recruiting problem. We got a silence problem. Let's stop it. Let's put us first. How can you expect to win if you're not willing to do that in the long run? So if you've seen it happen, if your kid has ever been approached, ask yourself the question before it even happens. Would you report it? How do you go about reporting it? What does reporting it look like? These are the conversations we need to have. And if you're not sure, feel free to send it to us. Send us the information. If you don't want to put your name on it, send us the information. I'll figure out a way to investigate it. I'll figure out a way to report it. I had a conversation the other day with a coach in our community. Great guy, great coach. And he told me that there are kids at the middle school level that he knows are being recruited. And I asked him, okay, does the coach at the high school level know this? No, I don't think anybody's told him. Why? Why? Because they're not just your kid or that middle school's kid. They're our kids. They're the county's kids. They're our greatest resource. Which takes me back to something else. I personally believe that the best opportunity we have to raise up the best kids for Franklin County is to be by raising them in Franklin County, not by allowing somebody outside of our community raise up these kids, which takes us outside of sports, beyond the walls, into other schools. I have kids in those other schools. Not by choice. I'm a divorced dad, and I have kids up in Tullahoma School District. And I feel like I have zero say, zero control in the way that community is. is shaping my kids instead of the way that the community that I live and love and live in. This community, I want to be shaping my kids. There's a very, very big difference between the Tullahoma schools and the Coffee County schools and the Franklin County schools and the Moore. Every one of these school districts has their own culture. Stop me if I'm lying. Stop me if I am lying. And so when I talk about I want my kids to be Franklin County kids, I'm saying that from my soul. It's not just about how we shape them on the field. It's about how we're shaping them off the field as well. I'm not putting parents on blast. I'm not putting the kids on blast. I'm not criticizing parents and players who have left. We can't go back. Thankfully. It's been rough here the last few years. But talk about where we're at now. Talk about going forward. Oh my gosh. Our programs in this school year have turned a corner. The football program has an elite coach, in my opinion, at this point. Elite. When it comes to the region, as good as there is in the region, in my opinion. And I haven't even seen the team on the field yet. The basketball programs are really coming along. The girls have so much friggin' talent from top to bottom, whether it's soccer, softball, basketball. Our girls' athletics are as good as, in my opinion, as good as any program in the region, if not better. Probably the best. And I think that the guys' programs are starting to come along as well. And that's despite all odds, despite the challenges when we talk about recruiting and these things that we're running into, despite all that crap, despite people taking our players and our athletes. You're going to get kids that come and go that just think that there's a better opportunity in one school or another. I'm not talking about that type of situation where kids just identify, well, I'm third string here. I might get an opportunity, a better opportunity somewhere else, or I don't like this coach, or whatever the case is. There are kids who get that, and the seed is planted in their own mind. We're not talking about that. We're talking about kids that are actively recruited. So when we come back, we're going to talk very quickly about what counts as recruiting. I have actually dove into the TSSAA handbook and looked at it, and this might create some clarity for you on the other side. Is it recruiting if we bring the Pee Wee players out on the football field prior to one of the games? Is it recruiting if we'll talk about what is recruiting when we come back? It is a starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Out with the cold, in with the comfort. Refresh your home with Hall Furniture in Winchester. From stylish living room sets to cozy recliners and dining pieces made for gathering, now's the perfect time to upgrade your space. Quality, comfort, and pieces you'll love coming home to. That's Hall Furniture. Visit them at 3131 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or browse anytime at hallfurniture.com. Hall Furniture. Make your home feel brand new.
Unlock the equity in your home with a home equity line of credit from First Vision Bank. Make repairs or upgrades on your home, consolidate debt, or use your flexible HELOC for large purchases. You'll have flexibility to access the cash in your home's equity whenever you need it. Plus, you'll enjoy competitive rates and the trusted hometown service you'd expect from First Vision Bank. Contact First Vision Bank today to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS number 490528. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
We are headed for another absolutely warm day. Partly sunny with a high of 81 degrees, but with a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly after 11 a.m. Southwest winds coming in at 10 to 15 miles per hour with a tenth of a quarter, except more in thunderstorms. Be prepared for some more rainy weather while you stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester.
Winchester. When our local athletes give it their all, Domino's is here to refuel the team. Swing by Domino's on South College and build your own pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 each. After the game, feed the whole squad. Grab a medium 2-topping Parmesan stuffed crust pizza, bread bites, and dips for $17.99. Or go big with 2 large pizzas and bread bites for $24.99. Quick combos, cold drinks, and deals starting at $5.99. At 668 South College Street, Domino's is proud to support our local athletes, on and off the field.
Take the starting lineup with you wherever you go. Download the WCDT smartphone app in your Google Play and Apple App Store. Now, back to the guys.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. It's a Where's the Beef Wednesday. Get involved in the show. You can jump in, 931-967-3500. You can text the show, 931-305-5611. And you can also head on over to the FMO Facebook feed. I see that we've got some folks in the feed this morning. Guys, I'd like to hear your opinions on the matter. Have you ever seen it firsthand? What do you think the reasoning is behind why parents don't speak up? What do you think the main thing is? I want to know the main thing. I want to know the why. Because it surprises me. When it happens and I hear about it happening, it makes me mad. And the first thing I want to do is like point fingers and shout it from the rooftop. This guy's recruiting! Stop him! So I don't know. Tell me why.
I just wanted to say, though, Andrew did jump in the chat. So
good morning, Andrew. All right. So shifting gears a little bit, and Chewy, prior to me starting this conversation, you didn't realize, I think a lot of people don't realize that there are lines that are drawn to keep this type of thing from happening. And to keep, again, the idea is to protect the integrity of the districts and of the schools and to keep the kids where they're zoned to be.
Right.
Right? Now, there are certain gray areas depending on if you're a homeschooled kid or if you're, all of these different things. If it's a private school that's, going to offer a scholarship, an education scholarship, or whatever they want to call it. But there are certain things that constitute recruiting and other things that kind of fall more in a gray area.
Right.
So I think that part of the reason why nobody says anything, this is my personal opinion, is because we don't know the rules.
Yeah, I was, before this morning, I was not aware it was actually formally banned. I thought it was just frowned upon, ungentlemanly, unsportsmanlike. I thought that's what the whole concept was. But you're telling me that there is like a formal, like it's in writing saying don't do this.
Yeah. So there is and it's pretty easy to find online. But if you go to the TSSAA website, or if you just Google TSSAA recruiting rules, it starts to go down that road within the rules. You can see and it's in pretty clear language. The other thing that you can do, and I encourage people to do this if they don't know how to use AI, this is actually a really handy tool for it, is you take a big PDF like that's got a ton of rules, and you pop the PDF or you pop the document into the AI program and ask it to tell you or to give you a breakdown of certain rules. The other part of it is if you've got a specific question, you can put that thing in there and say, okay, as an example, is this recruiting? Is this illegal? If you're not sure and you don't know legal speak, you have tools like, what is the saying, Chewy? When What am I trying to say here?
I'm not sure.
The ignorance. Ignorance is not an excuse.
Oh, okay.
In this regard, ignorance is not an excuse. You can't explain it away and say, well, I didn't know. It's our job to know. If you've got a kid in sports, I recommend that you know. Okay? So, go ahead.
Well, we've got some responses in the chat.
Okay.
Katie says, I think there's a portion of people who just like the drama and don't care for any change in the culture. And then Matthew Ledbetter jumped in saying, if I'm honest, I think it boils down to so much like everything else. Nobody cares anymore. Like so much of everything else in the world, apathy.
Apathy. That's a good perspective.
Well, I think there could be a lot of people who have like what do you say, subconsciously given up a little bit, and they're just like, yeah, just let them recruit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when
we're not doing anything with them, they can have them.
Exactly.
So there are other communities around us who are not apathetic about their sports programs, and they have taken advantage of where we have been at. So to Matthew's point, my goal would be to put an end to that apathy.
Snuff out the apathy, light that flame of ambition.
If we can accomplish anything, because I can't go on the field and play the games. I'm not coaching the kids. I can't. What do? We just talk about it. So if we can accomplish anything here on the radio station, my goal would be for us to affect positive change in situations and opportunities such as this.
Yeah.
If we want people to care about the school district and what we're doing in the classroom, or the county and what we're doing with the budgets, or what we're doing from a coaching standpoint, or what we're doing from an athletic standpoint, we can move and motivate people to get involved, and we can drum up some excitement, hopefully. And so let's kill the apathy, right? I think that we're moving in a very positive direction. Case in point, my wife, Katie, was in the band in high school. Doesn't know if a ball is blown up or stuffed, depending on the sport. Literally has no idea. Was not a sports fan. And the more time she spends around these kids, going to these games, she's been at track meets. She has no clue. She's been at baseball games. She's been at softball games. The other day she got hit in the boob at a softball game taking pictures. Didn't deter her. Didn't deter her one bit. Next thing you know, she's sitting on top of the dugout at the baseball game taking pictures in line drive territory. Didn't deter her one bit because she has fallen in love with supporting these kids and these coaches in Franklin County. And it's not about even the level of play. You know, we're not talking about pro sports teams. We're not going out there to watch the best of the best in the world. We're going out there to watch our kids of our community that we support. You know, all these people who are emotional and praying for Grayson Baggett and all the things. Hopefully they got the chance to watch Grayson. Mm-hmm. Because if you really want to feel the emotion behind what's going on with that young girl, you got to be invested in what happened, what she was doing on the floor or on the soccer field prior to her getting sick. So, circle back around to what do the TSSAA rules say about recruiting? Number one, a coach or a representative cannot initiate contact with a player about transferring. Oh. Now, it says a coach or a representative. A representative. Who's a representative? Pretty much anybody associated with the program, even in a non-official capacity.
So we could be technically representatives of like Franklin County.
Yeah, if I went up to somebody and started telling them, hey, you should transfer down to Franklin County, that would be considered me recruiting them down to Franklin. It can be a parent of another player. Essentially encouraging a transfer for an athletic reason. Period. End of story. You should come down here. Now, where's the gray line? Well, we get a chance, we get the opportunity to jump on the radio and talk about how great Franklin County athletics are. The soccer teams are amazing. Kent Bean is doing a great job with the soccer program. Our softball team is going to be absolutely unstoppable, I think, in the coming years. The talent, the young talent on that roster is insane. So can we talk about those types of things? And can it plant the seed? Ooh, if I want to play for a state title, maybe I need to go down to Franklin County. Yes. We can talk about that stuff all we want. You can, as parents, you can talk about how great things are. You're not directly telling or asking a kid to transfer down here. That's why culture's so important, because it emanates beyond the borders of Franklin County. And if we start talking about how good we are, how great we are, how bright the future is, not only is it going to keep the kids here, but the kids outside the district are going to start hearing that and seeing that. They did win a state title in soccer, didn't they? Man, they are getting really good at this, that, and the other thing. Oh, man, when our football team comes out and they start seeing, ooh, there's some changes going on in Franklin County. I like the way that they're doing things down there. That's a nasty team. That's oof. And we start talking positively about our programs instead of negatively, you'll see the change.
So Matthew came back saying that he agrees totally. Positive change is needed, but how do you go about it? Dealt with that in the churches for years. Jonathan Smith jumped in saying, doesn't matter until the kid/athlete is good and then makes an impact in the program. And then Matthew came back saying, when my daughter was playing high school sports, I would have never have thought twice about crossing the zone to send her to another school. That was taboo in my area in NC.
Yeah. And it should be, you know. It should feel gross to anybody, whether it's any of these surrounding schools. It should feel gross for a parent and a kid to consider going somewhere else. Because what I want, and I'm not saying that it has in the past, again, it's hard to argue against it when the team's not winning any games and there's no talent on the field, and you want your kid to be noticed. I can't talk negatively about kids that have done it in the past for whatever reason.
Brett also wanted to know, what about a coach leaving and then trying to encourage kids to follow them to another school?
Right.
Is that like the same idea?
It's exactly the same idea. And there is, so I'll address what Brett is talking about. A lot of people lost their mind when Coach Germain was let go by South. Now, what I have heard, the whispers that I have heard from the community, and I cannot lend any credence to this one way or another. I have no idea. But I know what Brett's referring to. What has been whispered around the community is that Germain was trying to leverage, again, this is speculation, was trying to leverage his relationship with the kids at South into getting the head coaching job. That's what I've heard, is that he was essentially, that's the rumor that's going around. He was essentially telling kids, hey, if I get that job, you know, everything's good. If I don't, you should leave the program. Consider going somewhere else.
Katie also commented, "You're dead." Ricky told me to point that out. I didn't see it in the chat earlier.
I'm dead? Oh.
Yeah, just you're dead. But
I must have said something about,
okay.
oh, because I said she don't know if the ball's blown up or stuff. I don't know.
Clint Powers is also here. Shout out to Clint Powers.
Now, I don't know if that's why. I don't know if that has anything to do with why Coach Germain was let go or not. That's the rumor that's going around. I mean, we're going to talk about what people are talking about. Unfounded or not, I have no idea. So, yeah, if it's going on, it needs to be killed. It needs to be squashed. Regardless of who it is. No single individual, this is what we really need to agree to. No single person in this county is more important than the program. Period. End of story. I don't care if you're a principal. I don't care if you're the director of schools. I don't care if you're the best player on the football team. Nobody should have more power than the brand as a whole. Mm-hmm. Now, part of the problem is we don't have a brand. We don't have a, like, what does that mean? We got to solidify what that means. What is the power of who we are? It's a manifestation of our community. The brand, the FC, that passion is a collective. And nobody should be powerful enough to damage that brand and get away with it. Everybody should be held accountable. So, as far as the TSSAA rules, encouraging a transfer for athletic reasons. This includes promises or inducements. We're talking about playing time. We're talking about exposure. We're talking about benefits. We're talking about scholarship opportunities, not from a private school, from like at the next level. Oh, if you come play for us, you're more likely to get a scholarship. All of these things, all these promises, using third parties, boosters, trainers, businesses, anybody to recruit for athletic purposes. If there is a conversation had saying you should come down here for athletic purposes, that is influence, attempted influence, undue influence to secure a student for athletic purposes. That is recruiting. So there are some gray areas. That's very real. And a lot of schools and teams try and work in this area. Like if a player reaches out to the school or to the coach. But when the response from the coach becomes persuasive, then it can be a violation.
I see. So, like, if they steer the conversation, well, if you did come here, or
yes.
Or well, what we actually provide.
If you're a coach and I message you and I say, hey, coach, I was thinking about transferring up to Chewy University. Mm-hmm. And you said, okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Or, here's the process. Here's how you need to do that. Contact this office, whatever. That's okay. If you were to say, that would be a great idea because I need a new starting tight end and you'd be perfect for that role. And, oh, by the way, we're going to be really good this year and we could really use you. Oh, Coach, I don't know if I can. It's like 45 minutes for me to get there and back each day. I don't know if I can do that. Well, I'll make sure that you've got a ride to and from. There are schools where our kids are playing where those conversations are being had. I'll make sure you get a ride to and from. That's recruiting.
Matthew Ledbetter coming back saying, I also feel like if you cross over for sports, you should not be able to return, to which Brett Crabtree says he agrees. Katie said, isn't everyone walking around town this year saying INAM?
It's not about me.
And then Clint Powers said, high school to the south of us on I-24 does it every year, should be stopped. Ricky Tip says, Kermit has done a great job getting athletes at Huntland scholarship dollars. Is that recruiting?
Okay, so if we're talking about scholarship dollars at the next level, at the college level, getting kids within your program scholarship money is not recruiting. Is not a recruiting violation. When it becomes a violation is if somebody from Huntland, a representation of Huntland, went around and directly spoke to athletes saying, hey, if your opportunities at the next level are not looking like, what you think they should, if you're not getting calls from colleges, you should come down here. We've got a really good
College
recruiting system, pipeline to the college level. Now, to Ricky's point, what he brought up is a really good point. Well, Joe, how do we protect? We've got Huntland, we've got Franklin County. What I think that we need to do is I think that there needs to be a county-wide recruiting coordinator for our college athletes or prospective college athletes that deals with all athletes in the county. Not Huntland specific, not Franklin County specific. Somebody, you want to protect both schools and keep it fair. Somebody who works with both programs equally and who finds opportunities regardless of whether they're wearing the navy blue or what color is
The royal blue.
Is that what you'd call it?
I'm colorblind, so you're asking the wrong person. Hornet blue.
Hornet blue. I like that. That's better. I don't want to call it royal blue because I feel like it's a little bit different than royal blue.
Eric Ramos says, same thing happened at North a few years ago, back trying to pull kids before leaving as coach. I don't know who he's talking about.
It's not a new phenomenon.
Yeah.
Coaches have a lot of influence over these kids, right? So what we've got to be careful to do or to not do is accuse schools without proof. We don't want to, especially on air and things like that. But if we've got proof, if we know that it's happened and we've got proof, it needs to be brought and put in front of somebody. It needs to be submitted.
It sounds like, though, I bet you, though, a lot of the times there's probably, you could unintentionally do it. Do you know what I mean? Where people don't understand the depth and the band. Like, just talking about it, I think, is also a good thing to let people know what actually recruiting means and who can and will get in trouble for certain aspects of it.
Right.
Where, I mean, everyone's, I doubt 100% of the time when people could be in trouble for recruiting, that's specifically what they're doing, like maliciously, maybe subconsciously and unintentionally. But you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Where they're just excited about their own program. They're like, man, I would love to have you here, because he
That's
literally means
yeah.
I would love to have you here.
Yeah.
He's not saying I want you to get away from that school and make my team better. He's just, you know what I mean? So it sounds
Yeah.
like people need to be really careful about how they talk about it.
They do.
And
these coaches and all these, they do need to be, they need to be careful. They need to be aware. It's a responsibility that you take on. And that's why we even have to be careful in saying, I can't definitely say that school X is recruiting. Unless I have proof, documented proof, saying such. But my point of talking about this on the show today is I have been told by many, many people within this community that they have proof. And nobody's saying anything. Why? Why? Why do we allow it?
They don't want to be the one that people knows, sprung it.
Right. So the last thing that I'll say as far as where is the line? It even goes back to within the district. For example, if you are a directly connected to the next level. So like middle school coaches pushing kids to the high school. They're not supposed to influence the kids where they go at that level. If you're an 8th grader, they're not supposed to be influencing you where you should go play freshman football. But there's a difference between like our Pee Wee programs. Last year, Tullahoma ran their Frank Mullins kids, and they do this every year. They ran them out on the field, and they had their youth football day or whatever, and it was homecoming. And they were able to do it. It was not recruiting in any way because those kids are not at the middle school level about to go to high school. They didn't do it with middle schoolers going to high school. They did it with peewee kids. Mm. So there's not that direct connection to the next level. Mm. And so that's always been a question of mine as well. Why don't we have something like that here in Franklin County? We want kids, we want vertical alignment. We want kids to stay in the program. Let's get them running out on the field at one of these games. More on that to come. Anyway. All right, we're through with hour number 1 already. I don't even know. How many breaks did I take? Like one?
One.
Jeez. All right. We'll get a break in here. Probably take us all the way to the top of the hour and through it. When we come back, we'll have the library ladies. And in hour number 2, we'll talk more about this. And Chris Guest will be in studio with us. We may talk more about this. Chris Guest will be in studio. It is the starting lineup. Now, here's the great thing, guys. And I forgot to mention this. Hold on, I got to do some housekeeping because I got right into this and didn't do any of the things that I needed to do today. First and foremost, from 2 to 4 p.m. later today, the afternoon handoff is going to be Chewy and I.
Cool.
Are you good for that?
Yeah.
Okay. So Chewy and I are going to be back. So that's number 1. Johnny is not only is he out sick, he's also supposed to be going on a college visit with one of his daughters. Hopefully he's able to make that. He was thrown up yesterday. Hope he gets to feeling better. He got that stomach bug thing that's going around.
W's in the chat for Johnny.
W's in the chat for Johnny. That's number 1. Number 2 is for any of you who own firearms, and I'm probably going to get crushed on the Facebook for this. Like our Facebook feed's probably going to go right in the crapper. But there is a special going on right now. Let me see if I can find my notes on this. Backstage Pawn, 10% off all ammo in stock this week. That's their deal of the week. I mentioned to you last week that they're having these tax return deals of the week. This is this week's, which means whatever they've got in stock, you can go up there 10% off. And I know, don't yank my chain. Brett, Lambo, Swamp Donkey, I know you. I know what you all have laying around your homes. Not laying around, but in that safe in a closet. I know. And if you want to save some money, go up there and stock up this week. All right. All right. Hour number 2 coming up on the other side. It is the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Marijuana today isn't what it used to be. Higher potency products, vaping devices, and edibles can increase the risk of dependence, anxiety, and impaired judgment. Understanding the risks matters. The Franklin County Prevention Coalition provides education and local resources to help our community make informed decisions. When we stay informed, we are stronger together and stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org. This project is funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Spring is in the air, and so are fresh new savings at Furniture Merchandise Outlet, FMO, right here in Tullahoma. Ready to refresh your space? From living rooms and bedrooms to dining sets and mattresses, FMO has the styles you want at prices you'll love. No long waits, no sticker shock. Just take it home today. Visit them at 105 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma or browse anytime at fmotn.com. Furniture Merchandise Outlet, where spring cleaning turns into a spring upgrade.
Looking for a reliable car at an affordable price? Stop by Money Down Motors here in Decker. We specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles with low down payments and flexible financing options. No matter your credit history, drive away today with a car you'll love and a payment plan that works for you. Visit us at 1945 Deckard Boulevard or call 931-962-3404 for more info. At Money Down Motors LLC, your ride is waiting.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
Franklin County Schools has announced new additions to the instructional leadership team. Brianna Mantooth has been named the district's new K-8 literacy coach, bringing experience across the K-5 literacy continuum, including kindergarten, 1st, and 5th grade ELA. She specializes in evidence-based literacy practices and is currently pursuing her doctorate in educational leadership. Ashley Deal joins the district as the new K-8 math coach. With more than 15 years in elementary education and 2 Teacher of the Year honors, Deal is known for using data and collaboration to drive student success. District leaders also congratulated recent Exact Path Challenge winners. Suwannee Elementary claimed the elementary school trophy. Judy Vinke of Broadview earned the elementary teacher award. Huntland Middle won the middle school trophy. And 6th grade teacher Brandy Frame took middle school teacher honors. In public safety news, the Estill Springs Police Department is reminding residents that from October 15th through May 15th, a burn permit from the Tennessee Division of Forestry is required for debris and prescribed fires. Permits are issued when conditions are safe and can be obtained online at tn.gov or by calling 877-350-BURN. Local regulations may be more restrictive, so residents are encouraged to check before burning. In sports, the Franklin County Rebelettes rallied from an early 6-run deficit to defeat Cannon County 15-13 on the road, improving to 9-9 on the season. They travel to Marshall County tonight, and first pitch is at 5:30 p.m. The Franklin County Rebels fell to Giles County 2-1 on the road, moving to 9-7 overall and 2-1 in district play. They will host Giles County tonight with first pitch at 6 p.m. So come cheer them on. For more local news and sports coverage, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studio, it's the starting lineup. Now, here are your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Swap. That's not right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESPN Radio Winchester 1340 1069's The Starting Lineup right here this morning. I've got the library ladies. I am powered by Loco Coffee this morning, but it is wonderful to see you two. How is everybody doing?
Doing great.
Well,
I'm a little slow, but we're great.
Oh, listen. I'm already there. Like, you don't have to explain nothing to me as far as that's concerned. Like, I get it, dude. I am ready for a nap, and it's 8:03. You know. So, what do we got going on at the library today?
Today's a fun day. Today we are reading Chicka Chicka Peep Peep.
Okay, interesting. I've never heard this one.
This is a brand new one. This
Okay.
is a brand new release. So we'll be reading that. One of my Storytime kids recommended that book.
Interesting. Chicka Chicka Peep Peep.
Yeah, it's like Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
Yeah.
So by the same author. So we read Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3 last week, and so she told me about the book that she just got, and that her and her mom had been reading it. So she suggested I read that at Storytime. So I was like, okay, we can do that. And we have an egg hunt today.
Oh, okay. So I'm all on board for that.
With a special guest.
With a very special guest. Yeah.
Can you say who it is? Or?
We will have someone hopping in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll be hopping in and
long ears,
fuzzy tail.
I got you.
Yeah. So we got that. We've got that special guest coming in to surprise our egg hunters, and we've got lots of eggs.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Man, you guys probably, that would have taken a while.
That took me 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
That's how many eggs I have.
Wow. Well, hey, great job.
shout out to the number one volunteer for helping me.
Yeah.
The husband came in and he's like, "Here, let me help you." I was like, "Okay."
Well, it goes to show some of the dedication that you guys have to the community and the library out there, and I bet you those kids are going to have a blast.
I hope so. And then thanks to some donors for coming in at Clutch and bringing some candy in and bringing some extra eggs in. So thanks for that. We appreciate it. I lost count of how many eggs there actually are, but I want to say it's close to 1,000. So.
Oh my gosh.
Trust me, that's a lot of eggs. That's a lot of eggs.
Wow.
So,
well, hey, great work, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So we will be doing story time at 10 and having a little movement going on, and then we will we'll go hunt some eggs.
Okay.
And then we have on Thursday from 1 to 2, the Homeschool Lego Club will be there. Even if you're not in homeschool, you can come on by and join the fun. The Friday and Saturday, we will be closed.
Oh, okay.
We're closed. So there.
For Good Friday.
For Good Friday,
Got
there
you.
will be no Tai Chi and there will be no Makers Club that day on Saturday. So we'll be back and running in the shelves, in the stacks on Monday at 8:00.
Okay. So it is April 1st, though.
It is.
So
no fooling.
No. Yeah. What do we got down the pipeline this month for I can't believe it's already April. But what can we look forward to at the library?
We have another coffee and conversation. This one's done through the Bookies Book Club. We have Dudley Defs coming in, local author. He will be talking about his book, The Future of Dolly Parton. The Faith. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The Faith of Dolly Parton by Dudley Defs. Is he from Swanee or
He is. He lives in Swanee.
He lives in Swanee.
Okay.
And from what I hear, correct me if I'm wrong, he is friends with James Patterson.
He is.
Really? Wow. Okay.
We get big hitters coming in.
I was about to say, yeah, that's impressive.
You know, Tina likes to say we're more than a book repository. So.
Oh, absolutely.
So we do a lot of things over there.
We do.
Come and check us out.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else we got going on, Kathy?
On the 19th, we have the Historical Society program. That'll be Joy Gallagher is going to be doing the presentation on the 33 Revolutionary War soldiers who died in Franklin County.
That's pretty impressive. I like just trying to figure that kind of knowledge out in general, like research wise. I always admire that kind of work. But also, this has been a recurring thing that you guys have done with like where we have this kind of history, and I'm like, why would I grew up? I mean, half of the entire schooling that I had was here in Franklin County. Why did I never hear about this? Do you know what I mean? You would think that, like, you guys did the whole POW camp that was like over there in Tullahoma, and I'm like, how did I not know?
Yeah.
There's this many people, and then they're like, oh, by the way, here's all the Revolutionary War veterans. You're like, what? You know, and this is a great opportunity, especially for people who are passionate about like their local community, to really highlight some interesting things about it. I admire that. It's very, very cool. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, Joy did a lot of research on this.
Joy, she's
she's
amazing.
Yeah.
Her and Jerry, they're both walking history books. So.
They are. You go talk to them and say one name and then they can rattle off about the whole history and like, what about this and what about this area, and they just know it. I'm like, wow.
That's really cool.
Keep all that in your memory.
Yeah. Well, that historical room that you guys have got back there is also just incredible.
It is.
I mean, the amount of obituaries and records and like I remember the last time I was there, they were even showing like there's a reason why a lot of people in the South like have people like family from the Northeast, and they were showing like the paths that many of these like farmers took from there, like going through not even just from Ellis Island, like earlier than that, and it was incredible to. Just like I I would bet anybody who has one family member from around this area, they couldn't go and figure something out about themselves over there. Guarantee it.
Yeah. It's amazing. We had some training in there where things are located. I still don't know. I still don't know.
And we have family files and topical files, and of course we have the records online as well that you can access through the Tennessee State Library. So,
all right,
maps.
Oh yeah, we have maps, local maps, topo maps, and also a couple of cemetery maps. We have a cemetery book that was done in 1983 that needs to be updated, but they were volunteers that went around to every cemetery and copied the names off of every stone.
Oh my gosh, that must have taken a while.
Yeah, the book's about this thick.
Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow. Well, one of my most favorite parts of that whole room back there is you've got either a picture or a drawing of the original courthouse, or that was on the square.
It's a picture. Yeah.
You want to talk about something lost? Like I was like, are you kidding me? That's what that used to look like, you know? It was like gorgeous. But anyway, my lamenting about architecture aside, very wonderful resource that people can go and access.
Like just come in and go in there and just sit down and you anybody and Jerry just start having a conversation and your mind just ends up being blown.
You get lost in there.
Yeah,
like in
you
a
do.
Good way.
And if you've got family history, some papers or anything like that, make a copy and bring it to him so he can start a file for your family, so your future generation can come in and see your great grandmother's handwriting, and those kind of things are valuable. Like I had no clue how much I could love history until I started hanging with Kathy, and she's like, yeah, you should get into. No, I'm not, Kathy, I'm not. But once you put a toe in, you ready to put the whole you go in knee deep. And so it's just very, very interesting. Enough about that.
We can talk about that all day.
Yeah. So just come on over and just take a look in that room and just get a feel of it and see how you can preserve your history and within the walls of the library. Also, let's move on. The 13th, the Friends of the Library will be showing their last movie for the summer, and it's called Land Before Time, The Mysterious Island, and that starts at 5. The next movie will be back in October. Mm-hmm. So if you have not made a visit to the movie night, it's your last chance for a while. Also, the True Crime Club starts at 6 on the 13th, and they will be finishing up, I think, the Epstein case.
Wow. So, okay. They've been really focusing on that.
They get really deep into that. So sometimes it goes longer than they expected. So I think there was another one they did, and it went a couple of months. So the Epstein file may go a couple of more months down the line too. But it's fun and it's engaging and very informative. Some people go in with their mindset on guilty or innocent and come out very, hey, I've changed my mind.
Interesting.
So come on over for that. And then we've got some other things coming down the line later, but we don't want to just
no spoilers
blow your
yet.
Mind.
Yeah, no spoilers yet. Right.
No spoilers yet.
Enjoy April while we got it.
Yes. So maybe at the end of April, we'll start giving some spoilers about summer reading.
All right.
That's about it.
Everything. All right. If that's everything, anything else you got there, Kathy? Are you good?
We're good.
All right.
Huh? Oh, National Library Week.
Oh, that's right.
It's the third week of April.
We were told. We told them last week. Well, listen, y'all are expecting donuts, coffee, cake. Yeah,
Library Workers Day.
So there you go. So show your support to your local library. We'll remind you every time you guys are here. All right.
We appreciate it.
All right. Well, if somebody was interested in getting involved in the library, maybe getting a library card or doing something out there, where are you guys headed this morning, and how can they get a hold of you?
Okay, it's 105 South Porter Street in Winchester. Give us a call at 967-3706. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and franklincountylibrary.org.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for hopping in, and I'll talk to you again next week.
All right. Thank
All right.
you. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. All right. Stay tuned to the starting lineup, powered by Loco Coffee. There's more coming up after these messages.
Lineup with Joe and Chewy is presented by Loco in Winchester. Right here in Winchester, Loco is doing things their own way. From locally roasted Loco coffee to a one-of-a-kind shop experience. It's a place that's built for the Franklin County community. So if you haven't stopped by yet, now's the time. Support local. Drink Loco coffee, fueling Franklin County mornings. Roasted right here in Franklin County. And don't forget to tune into the starting lineup, weekdays from 7 to 9.
Winchester. When our local athletes give it their all, Domino's is here to refuel the team. Swing by Domino's on South College and build your own pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 each. After the game, feed the whole squad. Grab a medium 2-topping Parmesan stuffed crust pizza, bread bites, and dips for $17.99. Or go big with 2 large pizzas and bread bites for $24.99. Quick combos, cold drinks, and deals starting at $5.99. At 668 South College Street, Domino's is proud to support our local athletes, on and off the field.
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Bennett's Pharmacy.
We are headed for another absolutely warm day. Partly sunny with a high of 81 degrees, but with a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly after 11 a.m. Southwest winds coming in at 10 to 15 miles per hour with a 10th of a quarter, except more in thunderstorms. Be prepared for some more rainy weather while you stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester.
At Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester, we're more than a pharmacy. We're your partner in health. Conveniently located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, we're here to serve you with fast, friendly, and personalized service. Need prescriptions filled? Looking for over-the-counter products? We've got you covered. Plus, enjoy local delivery and expert advice from our caring team. Call us today at 931-967-2777 or stop by Bennett's Pharmacy at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard today.
More Courtney Funeral Home. Well, they're a 5th-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, and compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. More Courtney Funeral Home, 300 1st Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. More Courtney Funeral Home.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at reliablerentalfc.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
For over 75 years, one thing has never changed in Winchester, Tennessee. Hall Furniture has been there through it all. 3 generations, decades of trust, and the commitment to quality, value, and service that still comes first today. As we celebrate over 75 years in business, we want to say thank you to our loyal customers, our community, and to everyone who has made Hall Furniture a Winchester tradition. Hall Furniture, here's to another 75 years of helping you make a house feel like home.
Tune into the starting lineup on the FMO Facebook feed. Just go to Facebook.com/ESPN Winchester. Now, back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT, Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. As, I've gotten some private messages, some direct messages from some folks about some things. And I will say this. I have heard, in this part of the conversation, I have heard a lot of the same rumors, a lot of the same things that you all have heard. I've definitely heard all that stuff. Have I necessarily seen the proof? No. But there are certain things that are floating out there, and sometimes the proof is in the pudding, right? Sometimes when there are either personnel moves or, people move to, and I'm not speaking necessarily just on coaches that have left recently. This has been going on for a while. There are coaches coaching at other schools in the region that I have heard rumors about. And here's the interesting thing, too, when you take all this into account, is where there's smoke, there's usually fire. But a lot of that proof is not made public out of either respect or whatever the case is. Maybe these things aren't filed officially to the TSSAA. I don't know. But I think we need to start laying down the hammer. I think we need to put an end to it. And that's where I'm coming from. What happened in the past, I really could care less.
There's an African proverb that says, if the fish come out of the water to tell you that the crocodile is sick, believe them. And basically what it's saying is, if people are telling you things that are happening and it is of no benefit to them to tell you,
right?
There's a reason why they're telling you. You know what I mean?
It's a good point. Good proverb.
And with a lot of these issues, it seems like a lot of people are not wanting to be the first to break the story because of the social repercussions, which I can understand. You know what I mean? I get that. But at the same time, the fact that they're talking about it at all kind of, for me personally, shows that, they want something to be done to a degree. Not necessarily get people fired or get that much, but like, hey, let's formally make a stop to this.
Well, and to that point, we've talked about what recruiting looks like. Hopefully by just identifying, what it is, which it can be defined as a pretty simple, straightforward statement.
Right.
Right? We talked about it. If
just saying, I want you over here, that could be an issue.
Yeah. If they are reaching out, they have to be reaching out, initiating contact. And if they're reaching out and it's in regard to athletics, transferring due to athletics, that's recruiting. So to your point, Chewy, the next thing that comes up is, well, how do we respond to it if we identify that it's happening? If nobody does anything about it outside of just complaining, then that's not going to fix anything. Not everything is recruiting, as we mentioned. So what I would say the steps that you need to take are, first and foremost, don't jump right at it and start rumors and other things like that. Save any of your proof. Don't get into the drama. Document screenshots, document conversations, names and dates and details and all that type of stuff. And then contact the school. Contact the school. Start with your athletic director, your administration. Start with Franklin County High School or the middle school or whatever, and give this school and the district a chance to handle it themselves. And then, of course, ultimately, you can report it officially through the TSSAA. But what we need to stop doing is, and this is the first thing that people like to do, is they like to jump on Facebook, or they like to just start talking rumors, or they like to attack families, and they like to turn it into drama. Did you hear? So-and-so got this, so-and-so got that, so-and-so got fired because of this, so-and-so got... that's the type of stuff. Unless there is something official behind it, that type of stuff it's not really productive. But what we need is the proof, the evidence of this stuff occurring, and then we need to submit it. Because that's how we protect the culture. And by allowing it to happen, it's only going to continue to grow. People are going to think that they can get away with it. They're not being held accountable. And so they're just going to keep on keeping on. They're just going to keep doing.
Yeah.
And the last thing is, and I go back to this, is it starts with us. We need to not give kids a reason to want to leave.
Right.
You know, we keep talking about, they're coming in and they're poaching our best athletes and stuff. You know what keeps that from happening? And we're working on it. I've said this. I'm extremely impressed with where we're at, and I'm excited about where we're at in the county athletically, whether it be, you know, girls sports, the new football coach, all the things that we've got going on. But if you take away any reason for desiring to leave, the recruiting will also stop. You know, you can't fault a kid for wanting a better opportunity if there's such a huge discrepancy between where you're at and where they could be. But if you raise the bar, raise a standard like we are doing in the community, and then, two, talk about it from a positive perspective. If we talk about it negatively, then it's going to permeate not just within our community, but within the surrounding communities. Kids are going to leave. Kids are going to, in other communities, they're not going to want to come in. But if they're hearing great things, kids will recruit themselves to come play for Franklin County. Yeah. We won't have to do any recruiting. And Coach Reed, from the football perspective, he's already said, I don't need Tullahoma kids. We're not going to recruit. We're not going to push. But we're not, like, it's not even on his radar. He's not worried about that. He's worried about coaching the kids in Franklin County that want to be here, that want to be a Rebel, and coaching them to the best of his ability, and the rest will take care of itself. So, to wrap this whole thing up for now, because we will be back on from 2 to 4 p.m., filling in for Johnny Hand on the afternoon handoff, but Mayor Chris Guest just rolled into the studio. We'll talk to him on the other side of the break. But to wrap things up for now, I would like it known that since, 1981, Eric Taylor, Alante Taylor, and Jawan Jennings, all born in Franklin County, all played in the NFL. You know how many Coffee County kids that were born in Coffee County or Bedford County or Moore County or the surrounding county? You know how many NFL players came from those counties, were born from those counties? And I get it. Alante played at Coffee County. 0. We've had 3. What do you say, 1?
Antonio Alonso.
What year was that? Okay.
88.
1.
So 1.
3 to 1. We've had 3. The kids are here. The athletes are here. That's why they want to pull them from here. I think we've got a better talent pool. There's something in the water. That's what it is, Chewy.
Yeah. All
right. Let's get a break in here. When we come back, Chris Guest in studio with us. It is the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
Get ready, anglers. The 2026 Timms Ford Bass Classic is coming up Saturday, April 4th at the Timms Ford Bass Club. Blast-off starts at 7 a.m. with weigh-in at 3 p.m. And there's a guaranteed payout of over $15,000, including $5,000 for first place. This year's event is made possible by our presenting sponsors: Phoenix Boats, Turfgrass of Tennessee, Gillum's Marine, CFC Recycling, and CWS Capital Waste Services. Entry is just $100 a boat, so grab your partner and get signed up today for the 2026 Timms Ford Bass Classic.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester, or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
Larry Shelby, previously on the Paul Feinbaum Show.
You know what, Chris? Let me tell you something. Why don't you go catch your breath before commenting on somebody else's? And hacksaw Tuscaloosa Jim Duggan. Just shut up, because I could strike you out blindfolded, pitching underhand with both arms tied behind my back.
Okay, why don't we take a break? I'm pretty exhausted.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
Franklin County Schools has announced new additions to the instructional leadership team. Brianna Mantooth has been named the district's new K-8 literacy coach, bringing experience across the K-5 literacy continuum, including kindergarten, first, and fifth grade ELA. She specializes in evidence-based literacy practices and is currently pursuing her doctorate in educational leadership. Ashley Deal joins the district as the new K-8 math coach. With more than 15 years in elementary education and 2 Teacher of the Year honors, Deal is known for using data and collaboration to drive student success. District leaders also congratulated recent Exact Path Challenge winners. Sewanee Elementary claimed the elementary school trophy. Judy Vinke of Broadview earned the elementary teacher award. Huntland Middle won the middle school trophy. And 6th grade teacher Brandy Frame took middle school teacher honors. In public safety news, the Estill Springs Police Department is reminding residents that from October 15th through May 15th, a burn permit from the Tennessee Division of Forestry is required for debris and prescribed fires. Permits are issued when conditions are safe and can be obtained online at tn.gov or by calling 877-350-BURN. Local regulations may be more restrictive, so residents are encouraged to check before burning. In sports, the Franklin County Rebelettes rallied from an early 6-run deficit to defeat Cannon County 15-13 on the road, improving to 9-9 on the season. They travel to Marshall County tonight, and first pitch is at 5:30 p.m. The Franklin County Rebels fell to Giles County 2-1 on the road, moving to 9-7 overall and 2-1 in district play. They will host Giles County tonight with first pitch at 6 p.m. So come cheer them on. For more local news and sports coverage, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
The opinions of the hosts are their own, and they do not represent the opinions of, well, really anybody else. You're listening to the starting lineup. Now back to Joe and Chewy.
8:32 here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. And as we do on the first and third Wednesday of every month, we now are joined by the mayor himself of Franklin County, Chris Guess, in studio with us. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. How are you today?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. We're all doing well as far as I know.
So it is, as far as you know. It's still early.
You never know it all, right?
There you go. As far as the county goes, and not just the county, not just the state, the country, 250 years coming up, and I know that, or not coming up, it's here, I suppose. I know that it's been a big deal for you, a big project that you guys have been working on, and it's starting to come together. And each and every time we talk with you here as of late, we've gotten an update on the Tennessee 250 celebration. What is the latest?
Well, we were able to obtain 2 different grants to help fund the activities in the event. And like you said, it's going to be an event. We're going to have some live music. Still waiting to hear whether or not we've secured a military band to come and play for at least a portion of this.
Wow.
Out of Huntsville. There are fire trucks, the big flag from, I think the Winchester Fire Department's been gracious enough. They're going to bring that and set it up in the background. We're going to have a stage with production and take care of all that for the band. There'll be some artistic things with paintings of, to represent like in 50-year increments of the history of Tennessee. We've had volunteers, some students from the university, Kiwanis Club, I can keep going. We're going to try to involve the Youth Prevention Coalition, just everybody that wants to be a part of this is welcome. We need all the help we can get. There'll be food. Let's see, what else? Just it's the purpose of it is just celebrate, the America's 250. That starts at 4. Then at 6 o'clock, we're going to stop the festivities and all get together. That's the National Day of Prayer event that will take place at 6. That usually takes about 30, 40, 45 minutes. When that's concluded, we will go back with the festivities and wind things up, by 8 o'clock probably. So we're looking for about a 4-hour deal there of the Tennessee 250. Encapsulated in that is the National Day of Prayer, and just have a celebration of the 250 and being Tennesseans and being Franklin Countyans. So we're looking forward to that. We're extremely proud we were able to obtain those grants to help fund it. I think what we have there will take care of most of what we need to pay for. Different fire trucks. I'm hoping to have maybe some law enforcement presence there just for show, not for enforcement, obviously. Like I said, the food, there will be different display tables with people dispersing information about what they do and who they are. Just looking forward to all of it. Shout out to my staff at the office. They've worked hard on this. Sharon Byram, my administrative assistant, has done a tremendous amount of work on this. Thanks to the committee we put together, they've done a lot of work. We've met, I think, 2 or 3 different times. Get a lot of great ideas out of those folks. So, just if I try to go name by name, I'll forget somebody, but just thank you to everybody that's helped on that. And it's right around the corner. I mean, it's May 7th.
Wow.
But we're looking forward to that for not only the country, but the state of Tennessee and especially Franklin County.
Well, and two, it's got to be one of those things. You talk about your staff, all the things that you guys work on an everyday basis. Not to say that all that other stuff isn't continuing to go on, right? You still gotta run the entire county, but giving them something like this, it's got to be a little bit of a change of pace, something fun to work on. It's got to,
Well, even though it is a lot, it is something, different, and they don't complain, not for 1 minute. They just pick it up and go, and it's nice to work with folks like that. You know, it just really is. It makes the job more enjoyable and makes my job a little bit easier. So I'm very appreciative to them for that. And I've said that, you've heard me say that many, many times before. The staff there in my office and the department heads and the other elected officials in this county are just really outstanding to work with, and we appreciate that. So we'll keep on keeping on and try to make it as good an event as we can for Franklin County. So everybody come on down. It's May 7th. It's beginning at 4 o'clock, and we'll just celebrate being from Tennessee and being from Franklin County and the 250-year anniversary of our country.
As far as the rest of kind of what's going on for the Tennessee 250 thing, and Chewy had mentioned this before you came on, but the city of Winchester is also going to be putting their fireworks out. I believe they got the grant for fireworks for the 4th of July, so that should be pretty special in and of itself as well.
Sure. It's almost a 2-for-1 because we have our event a little bit early. There, May the 7th, with all the things I said, and then Winchester comes right behind that with the July 4th display, which is always it's something to see if you've never seen it. So
special.
You almost get a 2-for-1 there with that. So we appreciate them, because that's a lot of work too. And I know a gentleman that used to be responsible for detonating their fireworks for them. That's a lot of work. So we appreciate them doing that for not only Winchester but the county as well.
Tremendous stuff. Okay, so shifting gears a little bit, one of the topics of conversation here as of late has been in regard to the ambulance service, and there have been some concerns regarding response time and other things like that. And I always look forward to the conversations that we have, but this in particular is something that's caught my radar. I know it's on your radar as well, something you've been working on. But fill us in on some of the latest as far as the ambulance service, because there's a lot of folks in the community that are concerned about the situation and where it's been at here in recent years.
Not a problem. I guess it's probably been 2 years ago now. The contract for the ambulance service came due. We thought we could do better than what was going on, so we did what you call an RFP, a request for proposal. For these private ambulance services to basically bid on the job. We received 3. One was ridiculously high. One was a company that had worked here before when you would probably didn't want to go that way. So Priority Ambulance was awarded the contract. And there's some things about this, you know, I hear a lot of this. I hear a lot of 30-minute response time, you know, 40-minute response. That's unacceptable. Okay, that is unacceptable. But what I hear is I hear the defining of a lot of problems, but I don't hear any suggestions for answers. And that's the key to the whole thing. So what you wind up with, like with the contract we have now, there's 4 ambulances 24/7 in the county, but here's the caveat to that, is the ambulance service will contract with the hospital to do their transports to whatever it is, dialysis to Vanderbilt to Erlanger, whatever, you know, transport that is. And that's a Medicare and insurance thing between the hospital and the ambulance service. And what the ambulance service will say is we can't make enough of a profit to stay in business unless we do that with the hospital.
Right.
So you may very well wind up, you know, 12 hours a day or more with only 2 ambulances that are actually wheels on the ground in Franklin County. So you get one call in County, one call in Estill, then you get an emergency, you're stuck.
Right.
Now, that's just a fact. So what do you do about that? Well, like I said, I can define that problem. Now, here are your options. You can either pay to have another ambulance put on the road, I guess you would say, staffed and everything. So that's about $500,000 by the time you do all that. You can do that. You can rewrite the contract where it mandates that the ambulance service have 3 ambulances in the county all the time and only 1 for transport. That's an option. The other option is the county gets into the 911 ambulance business on their own, and startup costs for that are astronomical.
Yeah.
So which one of those, you know, I have a pretty good idea which one I would probably want to at least try first. But I think it's important not just to say, well, that's just unacceptable. Well, yeah, okay, it is, but what are you going to do about it? Just to be very blunt, you know, how are we going to fix this problem?
Right.
That's the part that our staff's been working on, trying to diagnose, you know, what are we going to do to fix the problem? Not just, everybody knows we have a problem. We don't need to be told that. But we need to figure out how to correct it so people in the county have a better, they get there a little bit more time-friendly than maybe what's going on.
Yeah.
I know that it's unacceptable to have an hour response time or maybe, you know, something, you know, 2-3 hours. I know it doesn't take a genius to figure out that that's not acceptable. That's not the hard part. The hard part's figuring out what to do about it. So that's what we're in the process of doing, and that contract comes due probably, I guess it's a little bit less than a year now, and it's a big number.
Yeah.
You know, we pay a little over $670,000 a year, and we don't want to pay that for people to be told we don't have an ambulance right now.
Right. Well, and you and I have actually had this conversation in the past in regard to the response time, and I asked you, you know, from a long-term solution standpoint, you know, would it make sense for the county to get into that business, so to speak? And you kind of talked me through it, and which I appreciate. Now, in the short term, you know, we're kind of stuck where we're at, like you said, as far as the contract coming due and stuff. Is there anything, though, is there any kind of accountability as far as the contract is concerned that would say to them that if you're not upholding your side of the bargain, so to speak, that they're basically breaking that contract? Sure. How does that look?
Well, that's with any contract.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in breach of your contract, you are. But let me give you an example of that. Okay, let's say they are in breach of their contract. I go back once again to what are you going to do?
Right.
Basically, you don't have a replacement, or you don't have a fill-in or a part-time. That is the ambulance service for the county. So these problems that have come up, I don't know, past couple of years maybe, those are the things that you need to fix in the contract if you decide that's the way you're going to continue to do business. And I think when people hear the startup costs for a county-operated ambulance service, they're going to want to try to work something with what we have now.
Yeah.
Coffee County has a 911-only ambulance service, and you know the mayor over there, I think he told me it was maybe right around $5 million a year to operate that, and that's not counting the startup cost. You have to have a building, you have to have somewhere around 3 ambulances, you have to staff them, the billing for the calls you answer. You get into all that insurance, retirement benefits,
right,
training. It's more than just saying we're going to run 2 or 3 ambulances.
Well, and I know too, from my perspective, I think that this is probably where you're coming from as well. Government. And it's funny because I'm talking to the mayor, but government is a good thing when it works. But it's also one of those things that, and again, I would assume you'd agree with me on this to a certain extent. Too much government is not a good thing.
Oh, I'd be the first one to tell you that.
Yes.
One of the greatest presidents we ever had, Ronald Reagan, said the worst thing people can hear is somebody to say, we're from the government.
I'm here to help.
Yeah. So,
and I don't want to put words in your mouth. I kind of assumed that's where you'd come from.
Yeah.
But to that whole point, having this be a private situation versus a public, and having taxpayers pay for it and all the other things, regardless of whether there's grant money out there and other things like that to find that maybe could help with costs and other things, which who knows. I feel like it's probably better from a community perspective if we're trying to protect things like tax rates and other things like that. Once you go down that rabbit hole, I would say it's probably hard to come back from.
It absolutely is. One of the other things we did not talk about is we have volunteer fire departments that do help some with some calls.
Yeah.
I know they do a lot of that at the Broadview volunteer fire department, but you also have to remember that's just what it says it is. These guys are part-time and they have jobs and careers that they have to, that's how they put food on the table for their family. So you're kind of taking a chance there if you're just going to try to augment the ambulance with the fire department. And we appreciate everything they do. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying putting all your eggs in that basket may not be probably the best thing.
Right.
You need some consistency and accountability. And, it's hard to task a volunteer with something extra when they're already going the extra mile to be a volunteer fireman and do all that training and show up for all that in-service they do. Some of them probably use their own vacation time and things like that. So you don't want to, saddle them with any more than necessary.
Right.
And it's the county's responsibility. We have to have an ambulance service, and we know that. We just probably need to figure out a way to make it a little more smooth.
Well, it goes back to the balance.
It goes back to money.
Well, yeah, and that's what I mean is it goes back to the balance of trying to both be responsible with taxpayer, because let's be honest, we can solve all these problems if people want to add 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, $1, to their tax rate. Yeah, we'll solve all the problems you want to solve. Just, give us more money. But that's what we talk about when we talk about you and your staff and the responsibility that you take, the budget conversations that you're in right now. You're both trying to manage those monies responsibly while also trying to give elite service to people, because let's not dance around it. When you're talking about people's lives in the ambulance service, it really needs to be elite, right? Otherwise people are literally dying. And so, yeah, it's a tough conversation. It's a tough solution to figure, right? And I do appreciate the work that you've put in on that. And speaking of whether it's the volunteer fire departments or whether it's officers and things like that, I have heard that there is like lift and assist type of calls and responses that they answer to, where they will come out if there's not necessarily injuries involved and maybe somebody fell or whatever the case is, where they can come out and they can kind of fill in. But again, what you're talking about at that point is allocating resources from one area to another that they weren't originally really specifically built for. It's kind of on the fringes of what they do. And if you're taking resources from one place and putting them in another, it's not like it doesn't work 9 days out of 10 or 99 out of 100, but it's that one time when you've got an emergency and it comes back to haunt you. I mean, that's the last thing. It's not when you don't need it, it's when you need it. And again, you can't anticipate when that's going to be. It's not like, oh, on November 7th, we know that we're going to have this emergency. We'll schedule an extra shift or do this or do that, or we'll have a solution for that. No, they pop up and you have no idea. I know it sounds simple to say and stupid to even have to bring up, but that's the balance. That's the dance that we're facing is, are we staffed enough for the everyday, or are we staffed to where if there's an emergency, multiple situations going on at once, where we can handle them all?
That's the world you live in when you work in public safety. Take the sheriff's office for example. Say you're planning on, say, 4 guys on a shift, and you don't ever know. You may come in and you may have 5 calls that day, or you may have 25 calls that day. You just don't know. So you have to try to hit a balance there of what's adequately staffed without, blowing up your entire budget.
Yeah.
It's a balance. I lean toward being on the safe side, because when you start talking about public safety and you start talking about people's lives, you can't put a price tag on that. But on the other side of that, you do have to take into consideration the people that fund the county, the taxpayers, and you try to protect and take care of them as well as you can also. So
Yep.
It's a tricky balance. But this is, I just wanted everybody to be sure that to hear that we know this is an issue. It's not like we just sit around and ignore it. We've been working on it. We've been talking about it. There's a public safety committee, I'm sure, that will address it the closer the end of that contract comes. So it's not going to get fixed today, but we are looking at our best options to make it better when it comes to that point. That's what I want everybody to understand. We're aware of it. We're not ignoring it. And we're not playing or pretending like it's not there. We know that problem's there, but it's not as easy as just that's not acceptable.
Right.
That's not an answer. That's
Right.
a complaint.
Right. You guys haven't been kicking it down the road. And what I would say is, too, I guess what I would ask is, if somebody's got some insight, maybe they're experienced in this area. We got people who come to the area, they retire, or they whatever, or maybe they're from a different... if they've got an opinion or got some insight as far as solutions, helping, because you mentioned, everybody knows it's a problem. Let's talk about solutions. If somebody's got ideas, how would they go about maybe presenting them to you or to the committee or whoever? Maybe there's something that somebody out there has thought of that you guys haven't. And I know that you guys are open to that insight.
They'd probably just start by contacting the mayor's office at 967-2905, or you can get on the website and leave an email, and I'll be sure and get that. So start there, and if it's an idea, if it's a presentation, like I said, we have a public safety committee. Maybe that's a presentation that needs to be made to them. They're the people that would make the recommendation to the county commission as far as changing anything or funding or a new contract. That will come from that committee. So, and they know it as well. The public safety committee is, the EMA director, the director of the 911 communications, the sheriff, myself, some people from this. I can't recall them all just right here on the spot, but it's everybody that's involved in public safety in some form or fashion for the county. So that would be the place to start. Would probably be with the mayor's office. Then we would morph to that committee, and then eventually they'll make a recommendation to the commission when that contract comes due.
When we talk about this, too, the situation, I mean, it's not my understanding that it's really like an epidemic. It's just one of those things where it kind of rears its ugly head every few weeks. There's a situation where there's somebody that's waiting longer than they should. But I guess going back to that, I mean, for the most part, do people need to be... I don't want people to be freaking out and hear, if I get hurt, I can't get an ambulance in Franklin County. That's not necessarily the case. It's just in these certain unique situations that, again, pop up every once in a while.
They are unique situations. And, you're going to have days when things are a little bit wild and crazy, and you say you catch 5 calls at once, you have to prioritize. And we did that in law enforcement for years and years, and you go to the most serious ones first. That's what you have to do when you're caught in that situation. So it's not like we don't have an ambulance service, and it's not like you can't get an ambulance, but in these rare instances, and you can define rare however you want to. But in these instances, we are strained, and the manpower or the availability of a bus becomes an issue. That's the problem we have to figure out about how to try to solve. It's not that the paramedics and the EMTs are not doing their job. There's just not enough of them.
Right.
So what do you do? And they're, 90% of the time there's enough of them.
Right.
But it's that one day or that one call or
that full moon.
Yeah, full moon. So it happens every once in a while.
Chewy breaks his leash. He gets out, starts rampaging, and next thing you know, calls all over the place.
That's what happens. But that's what I wanted everybody to get from this is we are well aware of it, and we are trying to formulate more than one idea about what to do to make it better and to address it. So there's more to it than just saying it's a problem. We know it's a problem. Everybody knows it's a problem. So what we're trying to do is find an answer for the betterment of Franklin County.
No, I appreciate that. Too, I mean, to your point, it's one of those things where the solution doesn't happen overnight. Even if you found it tomorrow, it doesn't get implemented. Changes don't happen overnight. It takes a little bit of time, resources, effort. And so we do appreciate your staff for all the work that they put in. They're doing a great job. I'm excited about the Tennessee 250 as well. That's going to be a really, really good time. Again, May 7th at 4 p.m.
May 7th at 4 p.m. And not to go down a political road too bad, but would like to thank the Farm Bureau for the invitation the other night. Not all, but several of the candidates for the upcoming election were there. Would like to remind everybody, and that's a big thing of mine, is please go vote.
Yeah.
Everybody, please go vote. The primary is early voting starts April the 15th and runs through April 30th, and then election day is May 5th. So please, please, please go vote. That's a big thing. A lot of people paid a pretty high price, so we have that right in this country. So please, please go vote. That's the primaries, like I said, are May 5th, and then the general election will be in August. So please exercise that right. But I would like to say again, thanks to the Farm Bureau for having us out. There's a couple other dates in April. One's at Walnut Grove, and then one is at Fanning Bend. And I don't know the dates right off my top of my head. I didn't bring my phone in. I think one's like the 7th and one's the 11th. So we're kind of making the circuit here for the primary. So be glad to get out and see everybody and speak with the citizens and the folks. Always glad to do that. That's one of my more favorite things about this job is talk to people I know and meet people I don't know. So looking forward to that. But I just wanted to impress upon everybody, please go vote. It's important. So want to be sure you do that. If you have an idea or if you're afraid you might not get there May 5th, that's what early voting's for. Usually you can go down to the annex, and there's not a lot of times there's not much of a line when you early vote during the week like that. So just ease in there and cast your vote, and then you're done. You don't have to worry about missing on May 5th.
Yeah.
So,
and if you're listening and this pops that seed back into your head and you're thinking about it, check on your voter registration as well too, before it becomes a problem. And next thing you know, you walk in there and you're trying to vote and you got to go through that whole rigmarole. Address it now so that you're in good shape when the time comes.
Absolutely.
All right, Mayor. I appreciate you coming in this morning. Is that it? Anything else you want to get out before you head out?
I think that's about it for this morning and for this week. That'll probably hold us till next week.
At least a week or so. Probably get a call tomorrow, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right, brother. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Appreciate you having me, Joe. Thank you.
All right, guys. Back at 2 p.m. for the afternoon handoff. It'll be the afternoon handoff with Chewy and Joe. We appreciate you guys tuning in this morning. Again, we're not done. It is ESPN Radio Winchester. On the other side, reliable rentals, swap and shop. This is 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Spring is here, and it's time to wear it out loud at T-Shirt Spot in Tullahoma. Whether you need custom tees for your business, school, team, or just something fun for the season, T-Shirt Spot has you covered. Literally. Fresh designs, bold colors, and quality you can feel. Stop by 909 South Washington Street in Tullahoma, or check them out online at tshirtspot.com. T-Shirt Spot, where your spring style starts.
This spring, take pride in your yard with Flagship Lawn Services. From mowing and trimming to mulch and full cleanups, they deliver professional results at a fair, honest price. And with their Flagship Finish Guarantee, every job is done right, or they'll make it right. No shortcuts, no hassle. Just a yard that looks the way it should. Call or text Flagship Lawn Services today at 239-849-4033 and see the difference for yourself.
Here's what's happening in Franklin County. The Southern Tennessee Ladies Society Scholarship Foundation cordially invites you to preview night of the 15th annual Tablescapes. The event will take place Monday evening, March 30th, from 5 to 7 p.m. at Winchester Cumberland Presbyterian Church, located at the corner of 2nd Avenue and High Street. Guests will enjoy viewing beautifully decorated themed dining tables created by the organization's
NBA Thursday on ESPN Radio. It's a Western Conference showdown in OKC. Luka, LeBron, and the Los Angeles Lakers head to Oklahoma City to face Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the NBA leading Thunder. Coverage begins tomorrow at 9 Eastern, with tip-off at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Presented by Indeed.
This is Swap and Shop, presented by Reliable Rental on ESPN Radio Winchester and 931go.com.